will fill the seats that are now empty.
Festival meeting.
They have talked to Fred, and Fred was gonna call you, but
Okay.
Beth Schellers talked to him, and I'll need, Mr. B's letter so I can send it to them tomorrow.
Yeah, he had asked, by the way, Mr. Bench had asked that this be read, but it's 2 pages long and, doesn't seem pertinent to anything currently happening here, so.
Well, I'll go work on this stuff. You guys let me know if you need anything else.
Thank you.
Jennifer, when you get around to sending out the festival stuff, I'm sure we will, sponsor the hospitality tent
Okay.
this year. So,
Thank you, I appreciate
see you guys
that.
in a couple of weeks.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Real quick, festival, this is, our resolution that we do every year. We can look at that and, and then these are, all we've done here is just change the dates, so not sure if you guys want to change anything else,
Well,
but it's something that we
I'll
could.
tell you something to consider here. Since I do Main Street, I think food vendors should be required to set up on Thursday, period.
I think they like that. I think
Well,
they
most of them like that, but we have these
that.
people that come in here and it screws everything up because they don't even come during their designated time on Friday, and it's already so crazy.
Some of the people, it's almost, like, it's impossible actually to get them in. You know,
It
with
is.
their trailer faces.
And I think we ought to really look at shifting them and saying food vendors anytime on Thursday. I mean, I don't care if they come in Thursday night. I mean, I'll come up here,
Yeah.
but it gets so chaotic on Friday on Main Street. And over the years, for the most part, we have a few, but the trailers just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, they do.
and we need to make note of this with Jennifer. These people over here at the gazebo, they need to buy an additional space
Okay.
if they're coming back. They need to pay the food vendor and go to it because they were way outside. I mean, they basically created another booth.
Outside.
I mean, they were out into railroad
Came out
here.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah, they came out. They were even past the corner, so they need the craft spot at the food vendor half rate next to them to accommodate their stuff. But I just think Thursday, at least at the bare minimum, if you have a trailer, it needs to be here on Thursday. I mean, if somebody's just working out of a tent,
Uh-huh.
that is not as critical.
Okay, so
But-
food, trailers, food wagons.
Anytime on Thursday. I really think we need to do that.
Food vendors with trailers.
Yeah, the trailer, it just caused so many problems
Set it
because
Thursday.
they get here late, like Murray said, their hitch has to be the other way, and there's already 3 booths set up,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, it's just.
Most of them are here. There's been a few that,
Well,
yeah,
the
right
one
over
over
here.
by Joe
I know.
Long's,
I know.
that one's always a hassle.
And down
That
here,
guy needs to
down
go.
here on
The
the,
one by Joe Long's, he does need to go.
need to go.
He really does.
He doesn't
Okay.
follow the rules.
At
I
all.
don't think he does.
He's
I
left
had to talk
early
to him last
before,
year.
Was it last year or 2 years ago?
2 years
Uh-huh.
ago.
He left, and wasn't here at all on Sunday. And he never has the right electrical stuff. I mean, he just doesn't follow the rules.
And that's in our,
It's just a pain.
Well, that one year they ran out of whatever it is, and they went by my house with these 2 great big, what are they called?
I don't even know
Containers.
what you're talking
Like the tanks.
Oh, LP.
Oh.
Yeah, the
They
LP
ran out of
tanks.
LP.
Yeah, and the police officers finally had to give them a ride because the crowd was just like, it was crazy. And I thought, what in the world are they
Yeah,
doing?
we need to try to replace that.
Yeah.
Are food vendors right by each other, or they're vendors in between food vendors?
There's
Those vendors, basically all the corners.
Uh-huh.
So the closest they ever get is where there's an alley, where there's a north-south alley.
Uh-huh.
They'll be on those 4
On each
corners.
corner. Like
Uh-huh.
here.
There's still, the alley width between them, but. that's
between a
supposed to
vendor
say
and a food vendor?
No.
Between the
No.
two food vendors.
Okay, are there ever vendors put in between food vendors?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely, there's a whole row of them.
Yeah, a whole quarter block.
Our food vendors are on the corners and
On the
the,
corners.
Okay.
And
I've
then the
had,
vendors
I've
are
had
in
like
people
right in the middle of each
saying
other.
that the line for the food vendors blocks their booth and
yes,
people
that's happened
can't
before.
get,
That has happened.
Well, it goes out into the street.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but when the line is coming down the street like this in front of somebody's booth, I mean, I'm just saying, this is what I've heard.
No,
Right, so-
I've had vendors call or
Yeah.
I
tell
mean,
me.
unless we have somebody
you know.
police it, I mean, there's not really not
Yeah,
much we
like
can do.
Other than not put people that, not put, just put all the food vendors together and not put
Yeah, but
booths
we're-
in between
We're
them.
not set up for that. We don't
You
have
know?
the
And that
power.
would make it
Don't have
Ah.
electricity, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's, yeah.
gotcha.
The, what I have seen certain festivals do, and I mean, I think they even basically do this at that state fair, is they've spun most of their food vendors and they've been to the sidewalk. And the street is open for traffic.
Hmm.
Well,
Which-
but most of these streets are closed, so.
It's
Maybe
Tuesday.
There's a
someday when we have nice sidewalks, that might be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Might be
we're not really. in
No.
Is
No.
Not set up for
position
that.
set up for
Okay.
that, but-
It was just a comment I'd heard, pass it along.
Yeah, I saw that complaint as well. The unfortunate thing is some of these craft vendors, when that starts happening, everybody has this idea that if you can't see them from like 500 feet away,
Oh, I know.
they're not going to sell anything.
But,
And so they start moving their stuff out of their booth,
Oh.
out
Yeah.
into the street,
Oh.
and it creates these choke points
Yeah,
where they'll pull signs out, and then they start pulling their wares out, and tables and furniture and all this stuff. And the street, I've seen it half the size.
do we have
That
any
should be.
delineation out there front? I know we have
Yeah, it's marked.
size.
10
Just
feet.
10
The,
feet.
the front,
period,
Yeah.
10
Okay.
feet.
Yeah.
and so this is something he can
Yeah, in our
enforce?
It
ordinance,
is. It's something we
Okay.
can go around and,
Okay.
I mean, you could at least
Well,
say, hey,
hey,
You know,
Yeah,
it's
so
gotta be a
that
certain
would-
feet away from
that
what,
brings me to this one. Now that we're talking about sidewalk extensions here, the one down by Fletcher's, they need to go. Every year I
they
take
have to build a
pictures.
kitchen on the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
they put a whole kitchen on the sidewalk. I
He's
tell
been
them.
here for years.
Doesn't
I
matter.
No,
Jim,
no, I'm just, no, I'm
they-
just
But
saying that.
the last 2 years I've taken pictures, there's grease like all over the sidewalk and all over the street.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm not
Drains
talking
it
about a
over.
spot. I mean, I'm talking about gallons.
Yeah.
You know what he's talking about.
Yep.
across the
Yeah.
street.
Yep, I sure do.
It's terrible. But no, in the rules, it says everything is supposed to be contained in your booth.
Mhm.
You know?
And that's why we allow them to get additional space if they want it, you know.
Is there anything in the vendor thing about the hours?
As far
Yeah,
as
it's in the, did I not give you the rules?
So the
No.
general
Oh,
rules, the
yeah, in the
specific
rules.
grant information has the setup times and then
And
the
all
general
those are
rules
sent
have-
at one
At
time.
one time, okay,
Yes, all
so
those
it
are
doesn't
sent-
need to be
yes.
duplicated on
Uh-uh,
this,
no.
okay.
Nick, I should have given you one of these.
Oh, no,
Sorry
you're,
about that.
no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm quiet. Sorry.
Hand those to him.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick, did you have anything at the festival last year that was any kind of a concern or you?
No, I mean, everybody pretty much played ball for the most part. So I don't really have any major issues as far as people not doing as they're told or following the rules for the most part. So,
Okay.
went
well,
pretty.
which brings us to another one that we need to look at, but we're starting out early. We got vendors on Main Street that aren't eligible. And the guy Murray got into it with is completely ineligible for Main Street.
I
Who,
don't even remember this.
who was that? Do you remember?
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy whose girlfriend was setting up
Yeah.
in the telephone company's
Yeah.
place, and then
Oh,
she
yeah.
ended up, after that, she left her van parked in that parking lot behind her booth.
Which she can't do.
No,
No,
she
it's not
can't.
allowed.
Plus, it's somebody's private property. I
It was
mean,
the beard man. It's
So the beard man
yeah, it's the
doesn't
beard
make
man.
his own stuff.
He
Yeah.
doesn't?
No,
I think Annie even said that. I
No.
think she looked it up.
She
and
looked him up.
Did
Found
she
the
look it
product
up?
that he has.
Yeah.
That he just rebrands.
Wow.
Ah.
So, yeah.
he's not Main Street eligible.
Usually they'll, and they're supposed to be sending pictures in that, will show them making it, you know.
You know, which I know we won't do it here. I used to do the Anthony show with my dad. And you had to be making your products in the booth to be eligible.
Yeah, that'd be cool again.
So,
It'd
you
be
know,
really cool to have an area for that. I know we were supposed to have a chainsaw guy, and that fell through.
Yes, I'm gonna get I've got his number and stuff.
I
I'll
know my
contact
blacksmith's
him.
coming back this year.
Good.
I can't wait.
What about a helicopter for festival? Because it's our 50th.
Well, we checked helicopters, the helicopter ride, and one thing was, we were gonna put them over here. There was not enough room,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, and then,
Well-
so then the ball diamond was too far out of the way.
Uh-huh.
Well, how
You
about, yeah, well, I was gonna say,
We could do it down at the field.
Behind the
Right.
utility
Yeah.
office, is there room?
no.
Did you
The
tell you?
lot we have is bigger,
Mhm.
and I don't know, he was like worried about the tree, which I think there's enough room, because I told him we'll close the street. I said,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
add the street into your footage. I said, we'll close it.
yeah.
But I forget,
I can contact him again and
I mean,
see.
yeah, you could ask
I
him
mean-
again, but
I think
that,
for our 50, we
Uh-huh.
should do something big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked
we're
about,
gonna do fireworks off
balloon.
the water tower.
There you go. Oh, bungee jump. Let's bungee jump from the water tower.
Oh no.
zip line.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
From the water tower.
Climb the water tower and zip line down.
We go to the
Well,
tank
we
before.
thought about too, like, the balloon things, and one year Fred
Ooh.
contacted them, and
Tethered
they,
balloon.
yeah, and they said the best time to do that is in the evening, not during the
No.
day, you know, we
Well,
thought about like biplanes coming over, you know, I mean,
Something else to think about, that we've talked about, is to start to try to find somebody for a shuttle and parking. I mean, the fields at the water
That's
plant
good,
would be ready.
Call Ron's town car in Kokomo.
I
and see
remember
if it-
contacting
Yeah, write it down.
people a couple years ago, and it was insanely expensive.
Well,
But I don't remember if I ever called HCD
for what?
for shuttle.
To get it, well, I'm saying to get a shuttle, I mean, we could probably get them from Reynolds. If we asked them, I mean, they provide them at the state fair. We could probably get a track, we could probably get a tractor. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we could get like the church, or.
So
we
that was
did
my
that.
thought process, was some of these churches in the area that already have a bus, if they wanna do it as a fundraiser.
Well, I'm saying if we got Reynolds involved,
Yeah.
well, and then, you know, Brian from, oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. Brian from, not Reynolds, but, you know that
Massey Ferguson,
sponsor?
Rowdy
Rowdabush, thank you. He has contact with people at Noblesville. That's where he got his shuttle, was from
Or if they
Noblesville.
wanna do it,
Yeah,
if they wanna provide some,
uh-huh,
a tractor and something for,
and
A
they
local
could
group.
advertise or whatever, you know.
you know,
So obviously we talked about potentially parking at the water plant in the future. But that is one thing that, in talking with some of the people from the sheriff's department, they suggested that that could be a pretty big traffic concern.
we drive in, I drive in another, I mean,
They know that they're paying more attention than we do. I am to what's going on 18.
well, I mean, you're talking
Anyway.
about, you're talking about vehicle pulling out,
Right.
it's not like you're shutting 19 down.
Well, they were saying they would need flaggers. They put out traffic and something else. Maybe because of the curve, something coming northbound. Anyway, but their suggestion was if there's gonna be people parking and shuttling, do it from somewhere else. Which is what made me think even more about churches like Arcade Christian Church right there on 19. They want buses up here or something, I don't know.
There might be a traffic jam, they're gonna pull out on 19.
What about talking to Emily again at Nickel Plate Express to see if they're,
They were all
Yeah,
set to
I
do
know
it,
it,
and
I
then they
know
didn't
it.
do it, it's gonna be the same thing all over again. We'll talk to them, I'll
I
talk to
mean-
them. But, yeah. I'm not too optimistic.
I know. She's easier to work with, I think, than. So,
Yeah, she is, but she still has to deal with the board. So
Right.
there's limits. Big show off this part.
Which, okay, so I talked to Scott, everything's set for this stage. He said if we decided we wanted to do a Friday night concert of some sort, you know, I know we discussed this before and it's gonna cost us more because of the lighting and all that not, or continuing on Saturday night. You know, I don't know, we've talked about that before.
Does Roberta open on Saturday anymore?
No.
I don't think she does, right?
No, she doesn't. But if we're gonna, Saturday night, I think Saturday night would be the better night.
Well,
And
then-
especially if we're gonna get brewery, or winery, local craft beer, craft, wine, things like that.
Well, and you know, too, with the, like, if we did a Saturday night, band, would there be room to, like, I know sometimes some of these food vendors are like over it. They're done, they're ready to get ready for the next day, you know. Would there be room to put like maybe a food vendor in the park
No,
somewhere at all?
no
You
power.
can't magically,
There's no power.
you cannot magically
After-
bring up
after-
power.
After 20 years of explaining this to you, power
Well,
is
I
not
was
infinite.
thinking,
Twitch your
you
nose.
know, or what
Know
if
what
you
you
had
ought to
somebody
do?
over there doing
No, what you
doing
need
with
to
a
do-
grill,
You need to talk to the
doing-
Lions Club, because they want to make money and they could do something in the shelter house
Yeah.
right
in
there.
the evening.
Yeah, whether it was
Perfect.
hot dogs, tenderloins, nachos. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know what they, but they
Yeah.
do evening dinners as well as breakfasts,
Uh-huh.
and they're right there.
Okay,
Good fundraiser for them.
yeah.
And let the vendors know. In case they wanna hang out.
Yeah, I think we'd have to do that as optional.
Yeah,
Our work
optional.
open kind of a thing, and then we would want to advertise that almost as
Early.
like in conjunction with the
Right.
festival advertisements, but almost like it's a second event as part of the same thing. Or something.
Right.
Like if we're gonna be open in the evening with concert going on or something, that needs to be hyped up.
Yeah.
I
And we
think
have
it
to
could
let-
be really cool. I can see it in my mind. You know, I think
Our citizens
really
know
good.
so they don't complain.
they're gonna
I mean, they're gonna complain
they know
anyway,
or
but
not.
if we
people will
let
behave.
them know.
Absolutely.
You know, I had people say, "Well, why don't you have a movie in the park?" And I'm like, "They have no
Nobody-
idea."
nobody
I'm like,
came.
There's no idea.
There's no place.
You can't. You
Well, not
can't
a
do that.
festival.
No.
Another time
You
would
know.
be fun.
Yeah.
Well, and we had that. Do we
You know,
have?
I was going to tell you that, which made me think of that. So I have somebody, we talked about movie in the park because he used to live here. Talking about when we were kids, we used to have movies
Uh-huh.
and movie screens though, because I've looked at him before. He will give us $2,000 towards a movie screen for the park.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the ones they brought for the phone company.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the big blow up.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Who's gonna do that?
Get our grant.
Huh?
Who's
Get our,
gonna do that? Who's gonna give us
donate
two?
the money?
Yeah.
Scott Gashel.
get our grant, and that can pay for it.
So, but I've looked at them before. I mean, I think you can get a whole setup for pretty close to that.
Okay, so a couple of bands. So 45 RPM, they're open on Sunday. You know, we did not have them last year because they were already booked, but the year before they were really good. I know they've been up at the park several times. They did it. They give us like a really good deal that first year, $1,000. But they got some wiggle room there, but it would be like they're like 2,500. But he said since we're providing the sound, you know, they could. And then also the Beach Boys band. They had somebody wanting them for Saturday too, but he said it's whoever comes up with the contract first. I tried to contact him and haven't heard back from him yet. We did fill out the Hamilton County Tourism grant. and hoping to get more this year since it is our 50th. We usually get 1,500 from them. We could get as much as 3,000. So I'm hoping that they will help us there. So I guess first thing is making sure that the resolution's good. If you guys want anything changed on the applications, we need to get that done. So then that way
I think
you can approve it next
the
meeting.
rules
and
need
then,
a couple of tweaks.
Okay.
The food vendor setup time, adjusting that.
Okay.
And can't remember these.
So if you want to just review this, and then let you know
Yeah.
if there's anything else you guys want changed, let us know.
Okay.
Because then we'll get printing started on printing these, getting them sent.
I like changing some stuff around on them too, so that it's obviously looks different. Maybe. I don't know. And they still have the sign saying that they read it and agreed everything.
Here's, this is my favorite answer. I'm like, nobody told me. I'm like, here it is. I don't read that. So I've told people, I'm like, well, I have your signature.
Our contract is, our application is a lot more in depth than a lot of other. They're just really short and sweet, you know.
That's
It needs to
because
be there.
We've been doing it 50 years.
Many years of mistakes.
Exactly.
Many years of learning.
Exactly.
So I'm assuming music's gonna need to be booked pretty
Pretty
soon.
soon.
So we gotta come
Especially
up
the bigger ones, the smaller bands, you know, but the bigger ones, yeah.
So are those two the big ones you want to
Those would be-
pursue, the Beach Boys
Those
and
would be-
RPM?
Beach Boys seems awful summery to me, and it's a very specific time period too. I mean, I'm not sure how
But
much
it's
appeal they
timeless
have.
music.
It is
It's
timeless.
timeless.
It is timeless.
It's not just summer.
And,
Scott's
most
got a
of
lot
our
of other
residents aren't
bands
as young
that
as you are.
he's got a lot of other bands.
Most of them aren't as old as you are either. So. I'm not that young. I'm 34. I listen to everything. I'm
I
just
know
saying,
that we
I
could
don't
do-
know if
I mean, I don't know if you want to go with the tribute band as the main band
Headliner?
on Saturday. The headliner. Thank you. I must be getting tired. I can't think.
What other choices? I mean, what
Well,
other-
they've got he's got a Bon Jovi,
Oh,
Beatles. No, he doesn't have Beatles, but we've looked at Beatles before. Mellencamp.
Oh, no, I can't.
that'd be good.
I mean, I could, huh?
it's kind of an Indiana thing there, I guess.
Uh-huh.
We're in Indiana.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Here's what I'll
criticizing
do.
that.
I'll ask Scott for the links to their performances, and then I'll send it to all you guys.
Yeah,
and you guys
hopefully
can
by
look and
next
see what you
meeting we
think.
can make a
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta get the number where you can call Shannon, the plumber,
Oh,
the Mexican food people that they had
oh yeah.
wanted in.
Okay.
The food is excellent.
Okay. Yeah.
Have they said anything about closing the street for spring?
She wanted to know if she should come to the meeting, and I said yes, you
Yes.
probably should.
Yes.
Just to, you know, so
Yeah. Okay.
so she will. be
Hadn't been here yet.
coming. No, but
Okay.
she will be coming. Yeah.
So we've very broadly spoken, I guess, about possibly going into Saturday evening. I think that's a good idea. And hopefully we'll have a better idea of music by the time the next one rolls around. Is there anything else that we can do to make this?
You know, I've been trying to figure out the place to put it, but I mean, a real carnival.
You know,
I know.
I mean, I know the kids have fun on the stuff that's here, and so it'd be cool to expand that into something more carnival-y, obviously being a craft thing. I don't know, it'd be tough. I don't even know where you,
The biggest space we have, you'd have close part of the street back here, and you've got railroad behind
Shut
here
this down.
and the town, this whole lot behind the town hall. I mean, not that many people who work back there anymore. We rope it off,
yeah,
because you could shift the bathrooms down. And I mean, you got Carl's lot over there. At least
yeah.
kept it, I mean, which is connected and close.
Or even, how do you go about, I guess you just call one of those,
Now,
They've been
I've
down
ta-
at Noblesville,
yeah.
I'll call the 4-H fairgrounds and see
well,
who
and then,
they.
you know, we talked to the one people
Pork
that,
festival.
that came.
do you have anything to do with their,
and
the 4-H fair or anything, Danny?
Other than setting it up and running, I mean, not really, not like opinion wise, how what goes where, what happens.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well, remember we contacted the people that they always do Frankton, and they came and looked. And what was it? It was
It's expensive.
huh?
It's expensive.
They were expensive, but they didn't want down at the Ball Diamond because it was too far away. They wanted here, you know.
They wanted to eat like the whole park up. That was the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, when over there was.
Well, yeah, most of them, like, bring,
I know.
I mean, a lot of stuff, I mean, we don't have room for
I know.
3 or 4 things,
Yeah.
but.
Put them in the library.
Put them where?
Put them in the library lot.
Oh.
They're not
That
using
old
it.
big expanse, they don't use it. Can we rent we should go to the library. Can we rent your lot? And then put a carnival in there.
We might own it by then, who knows?
We
Yeah.
Do they still have pony rides? I mean, real ponies?
They do
They do
up
up here.
at.
He's got them on,
By
it's
the
kinda
coast.
sad, actually,
Yeah, it is.
just
I feel sorry for them.
walk in a circle attached to it.
Just like the good old days.
Now, and then they talked about like just a balloon glow, like on Saturday night. Maybe that
What
could
is
be
that?
something where the balloons just come,
Stay on the ground and
stay
they
on the
just
ground,
light
they
them
just
up.
Light their
light 'em
fires.
up, you know.
Yeah, and the fire in the balloon at night, it was really cool.
hmm
Yeah,
It is. Which that could be down in the field, really, because
Mm-hmm.
Fred does most of his parking, you know.
I'd like to,
I mean, people could walk down there and.
I like
see
the
it.
idea of moving it, continuing on into the evening. Making that some kind of a special event, so whatever we can do to.
Cicero usually has a balloon.
Yeah, back
Cicero
on the
Christian
library
Church.
usually.
In that lot. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really is. I've been down to it one time. Yeah. Or I don't know if we could get, how many balloons could we get up here on
Where?
Kane's lot?
One.
One or two, not a
Yeah.
lot.
They're pretty big.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey, they're bigger. Hey, when they're on the ground, they're a lot bigger than the sky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know, I mean, obviously the crafts in the booth things, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, can we advertise specifically for that starting now and see if there's, I mean, I don't know if there's a place we could kind of designate towards that crafting in booth.
Oh,
Artisans, true
Yeah.
artisans.
The thing is, ours is usually the same weekend as Carmel's Art Fest.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of
piggyback
the nicer
it.
ones
That's why
go.
we gotta get them there. Yeah, I'm just wondering if we should advertise for vendors now, if we're wanting to emphasize something specifically, like.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
it started off as
Well, and
It's-
we've got,
turned into kind of a craft,
mhm.
handmade, homemade sort of thing. You know, the
Mhm.
more that we can.
Yeah, and we've got letters made up for even like antique dealers, you know, and have like an antique alley somewhere. But some people don't like packing up all that stuff, and
That's a lot.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
If you had just one thing, people get bored with that because they're all, you know, every booth looks like
The
the
same.
one that was 3 decks. So you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have a variety of antiques and,
mhm.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like them, but a lot of people come back to Atlanta for that reason.
Right. Oh yeah.
Which I don't think we've ever turned anybody like that away. But when we did have it down by your mom's house, we worked pretty hard to
Yeah.
seek that out. It seemed like, you know, and try to make that happen.
The thing
And it
is
almost
with
has to be at
vendors.
an end like that, so people can they can get things in and out.
The festival vendors are it's kind of sad because they're different. Everything's different than years ago. It's just all changed, you know. And some people say, "Ooh, you got all that up there, black junk or whatever." But it's just, you know, the older people that were here that were doing that had the. I mean, we still got some good vendors. Don't get me
Well-
wrong. But I mean, it
Starting to
has
see a lot
just
of
changed.
New
Yeah.
people, though.
Yeah, and we're not the only
So,
festival.
let me
We've
tell
contacted other festivals, and it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you are trying to find good vendors.
I used to have 21 vendors in my yard. Every single thing was handmade. Every single thing. Now I have 2. And that's on 2 lots. I'm talking just my house, I had 21 vendors. I'm not talking about dinks.
Right.
So I got
forgot
one
how
on
you
each
guys
side of the
sling that.
street now. It's just, they're
It's
hard to
just
find.
it's changed. It really has.
Well, the worst part of it is, and this, I had some people that got out. So I had people, now, you know, mind you, this was 25 years ago plus. I had a family that made woodcraft things, and all the guys in the family, like, made the things. And all the women painted them, and they had all this unique stuff, and every year they came up with new ideas. And the farther along they went, the parents were getting older, but they got out of it because people would buy their thing, send it to China, and
Yes, I
then they
had
go
some
to a
vendors-
festival, and there'd
yes.
be like 2 million of their
Uh-huh.
things for $5, and he's like, I can't even make it for $5.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
the
true.
guy that used to run my dad's side yard for
Yep.
out of finished furniture.
Uh-huh.
He did so well for so long, and then like the last year before, he stopped doing that and switched to something else. There was like 3 or 4 other
Yeah.
unfinished furniture places, and you know it was all made here in northern Indiana. He made all that stuff. He had a crew of
I've
guys
had
and-
several vendors say that.
you know. Yeah, unfortunately, there's still gotta be people out there making stuff. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
And
the
Fred
best
and I are
one.
getting ready to go down to the home and garden show and like the home show and stuff, and we usually pass out cards. You just, you know, even kind of help with sponsorships.
The best one I've seen in recent years is the craft. Is the Labor Day weekend festival in South Haven, Michigan.
I bet
It's
it's
about
good.
120 vendors in their park.
Uh-huh.
Every one of them is nice stuff. I mean, really nice stuff. And they've only got about 10 or 12 food vendors.
I wonder if they'd share their vendor list with us.
I got a guy. They ended up moving out west, but I had a guy from there that came to my
Uh-huh,
house for like 3 years.
And
then
what's it called?
They
Just
moved out
it's
west.
at South Haven.
It's the South Haven Craft Fair. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm
Okay.
sure it's on their website,
Okay.
but it is really nice. It's in their park. But their vendors are excellent. I mean, and it's a variety. It's a variety of stuff. I mean, there's. I think one of the things I think that the kids like that was really neat. There was a woman that makes stuff for American Girl dolls
Oh,
and
girls love that.
all that. Yeah, and it was neat because her husband got into it and he made. It was cool because I bought some. He made coat hangers.
Oh,
clothes,
for
but
the
they were metal.
clothes.
They were real. They were. He made a jig, and they were like little coat hangers, like this big.
Look at this, they've got a festival mid-August, and then they've got that one you're talking about in their park.
The August
a few weeks later in September.
but it's not as the August one's not as
They
big.
call it the Blueberry Festival.
Yeah, it's nothing like the September one. The September one is there's
130 exhibitors, it says.
I was guessing 120. But yeah,
Wow.
and that may include the food people, but it's really like everything there is nice. There's nothing mass produced in the whole thing that I ever saw.
Jennifer, do you have anybody that sells honey? I know they
We
got-
do.
Oh yeah.
We
Okay.
do, we have a couple hundred.
You know, and even if they're, I mean, depending on how far away, I mean, it's only like 3 hours, 3.5 hours away. It's not a super big trip.
Well, that's just, I'll take a field trip.
Which that's the first weekend of September.
Exactly.
So I don't know if any of those people could.
Well, if we can get their
Hopefully
vendor
before
list
then.
now,
Yeah,
maybe
if
we
you get
could
their vendor
contact,
list.
Yeah,
contact them.
yeah, that would be worth doing.
Uh-huh,
Contact them and see. I mean, we're not competing with them.
right,
If you do-
right.
Right down the road.
We've got a lot out of state. It's just we can. That seems like maybe a different market that we're not. There's a disconnect here. Or something.
Yeah,
Whatever we can do to advertise for that type of vendor, maybe we need to look at that sooner rather than later.
Well,
Looking for
yeah,
There are social
Craft
media,
schedule.
there are social sites too where they're
Yes.
just vendors,
Mhm.
just for vendors.
Yes.
And you can canvass them to,
we are
how
on
do
one
you
of those
find that
sites.
artisan, the crafts person,
Mhm.
not just the person.
Uh-huh.
You know, buy a few things and arrange them nicely. So. Okay.
Well, trying to find
I'm
something.
not as prepared as I should be for this, so I don't really have anything else to on my mind right now with this. Does anybody else have any suggestions or concerns from previous years that you think we should address for this year? Anything like that?
I'll talk
You know-
to Scott, oh, I'm sorry, Andy, I'll
No,
talk
I
to,
was just saying I forgot it. I'll print it out, but they did send me proof for the festival sign. So
Oh,
I'll get that going. The big one. It's identical.
just talk about it.
Well, it's some kind of, they got this, it's partially a printing process. So on the signboard, they got this Insano giant printer in there that they bought. But it would be still free for it, but sign, it's aluminum.
Okay.
It's like about the thickness of a street sign with the face, the sheeting face on it. But the proof looks exactly like the old sign.
Hopefully
I
it
mean,
holds up well.
color. Yeah, he said it won't last as long, but they say like 10 years.
Maybe
a
it's
good-
like that same thing then.
I don't know, I didn't ask him that. Because I think they produced the whole sign in the
Yeah.
shop, bring the panels out, install them, but the colors and everything, it was really nice.
I'll talk to Scott about pricing for the stage for Saturday night.
Yeah. find
See
out
what
you
bands
charge
he's
for
got
that.
available for Saturday night. I'll send them to you guys. We have already sent out emails, about the 50th anniversary to all the sponsors and we got, right away, a sponsor emailed right back and said, yep, he's in, so,
That's good.
yeah, so we'll just continue.
That's something
with
that I do wanna, I've said it for the last 2 or 3 years, help it try to actually go after some bigger sponsors. We're early in the year, I think we can put together a program like that, I really do wanna. keep
Well, we still got our
that
video
process this year.
too, yeah, our video too.
Let's actually try to identify a couple of people that we want to try to schedule a meeting with and actually go present something to them. As calling somebody and saying, hey, you wanna give me 10 grand is not as good as.
Well, now we
Hey.
talk real nice.
Well, Yeah, but if they're a business person, they don't care how nice you talk, they
Oh,
want
I
some
know.
value
No,
added,
we've already-
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
we've already, like early in the year with like Riverview and then also Tipton IU Health, we go online and start filling out their information, you know,
Yeah,
to get in there, to get there, cause they do theirs quarterly and yeah. So,
okay.
I thought the idea Andy had was get the Lions Club to serve breakfast or serve all club.
No, they are anyways.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying in that evening, do
Yeah.
something for.
Yeah, if we're open
Yeah.
in the evening, that would be nice, to have some kind of, at least they do. It doesn't have to be a full-blown dinner necessarily, or maybe it can be, I don't know, but
uh-huh.
have some kind of food over there.
Yeah, I think we need it that night.
Or I'm a big fan of breakfast at night, maybe we just
Yeah. It's food.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts? You thinking about it between now and, a month from now? Well, a month from now, we need to have some serious wheels in motion here.
Yeah, if we could have, if
We
you
need to
guys,
have that resolution and application done.
yeah,
by
for next
council
meeting, we can
yes.
just do it,
So,
yeah, so if there's any, yeah.
Do we need to read that resolution? Did you read?
No.
You don't have to have
It-
readings on
yeah,
it.
we
Okay.
don't have to do that. The resolution that is just basically to set the dates, the
Yeah.
times, and adopt the rules and the application for the year, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I guess we will,
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nick, I have
Yep,
this for
yep, I
you
was
to
gonna ask
sign.
you about that.